map. FaZe, a little bit more mixed. It is one of those more structured maps that we don't tend to criticize FaZe for, but it can be a style that they find a little bit of difficulty with.
Yeah, Clubhouse is much more of, I would say, normal. More than anything is probably the best way to describe it. But I always think of Clubhouse, and I do think of FaZe whenever it comes to this map. I think back to the classic, the original Team Empire Ollie back at Rally Major. Empire were unstoppable on Clubhouse on that map, and they came up against FaZe in the quarterfinals, and FaZe went and 7-1 them. This has been an iconic map for FaZe, and a lot of people have kind of pitched them to say, oh, don't take FaZe to Clubhouse, this is a great map for them. So I kind of seen it pop up, and I was like, ooh, that's not good for Black Dragons.
Well, we will see as the game progresses. The bans as they currently sit: Thatcher, Hibana, Valkyrie, and Amira. Certainly the first three becoming a lot more common. Thatcher obviously is a staple to be removed. Hibana seeing a significant increase in ban rate. Valkyrie as well. And then the mirror window's gone, and mirror for good measure. Black Dragon's going to be starting off on the defense here. And FaZe, I mean, seemingly before the 6th pick, they're not taking any chances. They're going to be rocking the triple hard breach.
Yeah, Clubhouse, you need your hard breach. That is a necessity. It is pretty much the opposite of Coastline Ollie in many ways, where we've went from a map that you don't need the hard breach, you can play very flexible, to you're kind of headlocked into a certain playstyle that you need to go for. And 9 times out of 10, usually, Ollie, it is all about opening up breaches and opening up hatches. That is the go-to for the attackers.
Yeah, and with Hibana banned and Arcade in play, it does put a bit more pressure on the Maverick player. In this instance, it's going to be Cyber. He's going to have quite an important role to fulfill in terms of getting those hatches open. There are, of course, other things that you can do to get the hatches open. A nice electrical being placed downstairs inside of the showers. That's going to be for the jacuzzi wall. And, I mean, look at this extension demo. Yeah. Not only are we reinforcing jacuzzi wall, but we've just seen Patoxy reinforce the wall inside of CCTV as well. That's 4 reinforcements off-site. Black Dragons are intent on holding the entire map here.
Yeah, you'll see this a lot from teams who want to try and play with, the classic SSG hold that we always have to reference. These guys were the inventors of SSG at the end of the day, so you have to give them their credit where it's due. And Bullet, not mucking about, straight in and finds the opening kill onto Perez. That is a very important frag, because all of a sudden now, live, he's all by himself. That was the man who's supposed to support him inside a garage, and he's been taken out. Oh, Maverick holes. Remember, holes work both ways. Lives maybe thinking of going for the peak, but said he just decides to back away and not go for it. So Astro has the ace in hand. I wonder if he maybe will try and rotate above volley and open up some of those walls, or maybe FaZe's looking to execute onto the bomb site and just ignore the roamers entirely.
I mean, this is one of the biggest problems with going for this style of push. You just leave the site so exposed, and Bullet, he's going to take full advantage. He's found 3 kills so far this round. Live desperately making a drop, but he will be taken out by the Claymore. Bullet, he's on for an ace here. He has only got Patoxy left to find, and this extended roam has been punished severely. Questioned it at the time, and you got to give credit to FaZe for just going for such a direct approach, but when you go for such a outlandish roam, Black Dragons unable to execute it. Patoxy's got a bit of information here. Bullet hits him with the swing, confirms the ace. Great opening round here from FaZe.
Great opening round from Bullet, I would say, more than anything. All it looked as if FaZe didn't really know what they wanted to go for, but Bullet, he was leading the pack, and he went straight in, opened up the bomb site entirely, and I think the decision making there from Bullet, he knew straight away as soon as those 2 kills come in on the bomb site, they know where the other 2 are. They know they're going to be going for that roaming presence. So it's just a quick hit on the site and away they go. So very, very impressive, has to be said, from FaZe and Bullet there to open things up with a first round ace. Ollie, it's not very often that we see them.
I mean, it's not a first round ace. You can probably count on one hand the amount of times that you actually get to see that. Bullet, such a dangerous player on his day, and I think I was looking over at some of the stats earlier on and last night after they got inputted for yesterday's games, just to see, you know, where the teams are sort of sitting. And FaZe are one of those teams where there's nobody that dominates a particular stat line, whether it entry, rating, top kills. And it got me on to thinking that it's because they just spread that load so equally. You know, it's going to be Bullet, it's going to be Astro, it's going to be Cyber, it's going to be Souls, it's going to be Cap. Any single one of them is popping off, and it's very much a team effort as opposed to relying on those hero plays. I know that seems semi-ironic to say after we've just seen Bullet hit the ace inside of one round, but as a whole, the contribution is usually pretty similar over the course of at least more than one game.
That's why me and you rate teams such as Furia so highly. That's why we rate Team 1 so highly.
Exactly, yeah.
All of those players together. You know, I think Team 1, they've kind of got away from the whole, oh, it's only Alama, that's the only player in the team. Almost like the BDS factor. Look at BDS for a team only. There's a team where any of those players can pop off. That makes you a world-class team if you have that, yeah? We see teams who maybe don't play as well, and they're kind of looking towards one single player that we have to highlight, and that if he doesn't show up, it's over, it's done. You have to give credit to FaZe where it's due. They are an all-round team. I think they can play a variety of playstyles, Ollie. I think they are the Swiss Army knife of Brazil. 100% the Swiss Army knife. Do anything you want. Anything.
I've just got in my head like a Swiss Army knife with like the LATAM logo on it. I think that'd be great.
That's what they are. That's what it is. And each of the little things you get in the Swiss Army knife, it's just their heads, just the FaZe player heads on it. That's it.
So you pull out like the screwdriver, and it's just cameraman's face.
You need that. You need it. If you need a hammer to go and do the business, there's Bullet for you. There he is.
I'm not sure there's a blowtorch on the Swiss Army knife, but Cyber, sorry, is certainly putting it to good use here inside of this round. Cameraman going to be able to open up onto that east wall. Cyber's just given himself a line of sight there into construction. And again, just something for Black Dragons to worry about. And I think the confidence levels on Black Dragons must be faltering a little bit as well, given that they've just been dismantled so quickly. They're now going for an entirely different site, quite rightly so. And they're going for, you know, what seems to be a little bit more of a reserved kind of roam game. There's not as much potential to hit the roam as heavy for a gym and bedroom, but still they're just looking to occupy key areas and pose a little bit more of a problem here for FaZe.
Yeah, fairly standard. Nothing too crazy from Black Dragons. The extension into cash room, we see that a lot, so no surprises. I'm just curious to see where FaZe want to try and attempt their attack. Obviously, with the bans being Thatcher being banned out, it's going to be very difficult, of course, as we know, for teams to open up a multitude of walls and do it very, very quickly. So you are really relying on Cyber and his blowtorch to open up those reinforced walls the best that he can. Oh, the ace charge goes off, and I don't think that carry charge will explode in time, and nope, it will not. So that wall is going to be opened up, and that means that nobody can play basically in the middle of the bomb site. Bullet continues on, and he keeps moving, Ollie. Another double kill for Bullet. Sees one more. The LMG tries to spray through the wall. And they know the last two positions of the Black Dragons members. And once again, FaZe, they have adapted. They have seen the weaknesses. They picked up their kills and they've left the roamers stranded, Ollie.
They just cut through sight entirely. Making Perez pretty much a non-entity at this point. Another huge 1vx for Black Dragons to try and deal with. This time 1 versus 4. Fuser timer ticking as well, and that LMG is just going to provide so much covering fire. Bullet can tap fire to his heart's content on that doorway and onto that angle, regardless of the information that Perez has here. The time is going to run out before he's going to be able to do all that much. Maybe gets himself an exit, maybe gives himself up. But another great round coming in here from FaZe. The final kill will come through. Cameraman puts Perez out of his misery eventually.
Yeah, FaZe again. Bullet leading the charge. I think they've done very well, Ollie, to just highlight what they needed to get rid of. I think that ace charge coming in, it means that the Kai can't play behind the mattress. That's a very strong position, as we know, Ollie, to cover off those windows. Very, very difficult to challenge onto, as we know. You open up that wall, it gives you that clear line of sight from the gym window onto that position. And we've seen that pay off. The Kai moves out of position. He has to then get settled in. He's not ready. And as soon as he moves, Bullet is straight in and on his case. Brilliant from FaZe. Brilliant stuff. Floor now. That's where we head to. And usually, Ollie, we see the top floor be a lot more basic. This is like one of the most basic bomb sites in Siege. Like, just anything in Siege, I feel as if everyone knows what you need to do to attack this. It's very, very simple. You open up the main breach onto CCTV, and then you either rotate over to bedroom and you open up the construction wall, or you rotate over to garage and you open up the garage wall. So that's kind of like the two options that we always see be done. Teams can go for it either way. I don't really think it matters too much, because they both basically play it the same way as the Ollie. Burn some utility from the defenders and try and flood site with your own utility.
That's something that FaZe have been doing really well at so far as well. You know, they've had a very good and focused execute. They're getting the work done nice and early on into the round. Remember, I mean, think back to round number 2. They were able to get the walls open in very nice fashion, very quick time. And it gives them so much time then to just execute with. They're not worried about, you know, having to rush on through. They've been able to get the plant down in both rounds that we've seen as well so far as well. And that again just goes to show how much time they're actually giving themselves. The plant's going down with 30 plus seconds left, in some cases a little bit longer. And it's because they're able to cause such a nuisance in the early part of the round. Now Cyber is going to be looking to try and get this wall open. There will be a mute jammer placed, but that should now be removed, and it frees everything up for the exothermic charge to get popped off.
So, Thunderbird, I think we have to address that operator, Ollie. This was an operator that, whenever it was first revealed, it was kind of pitted to be this off-site holder, where you would set up these Thunderbird charges and you can hold very difficult positions. I think what kind of brought to mind everything was like Villa main stairs on like an Aviator Games hold. Then obviously you look at Garage Catwalk, which I think was also another one that everyone thought, oh, she'll be great in that scenario. We're seeing it be done here today. From what I've seen in the past, the Thunderbird playing in this position is, sure, it is great. You know, you can take as many swings as you want onto Garage Door. Bullet, again, just continues on with the kills. You can take those swings, you can take those challenges, because you know you can get stimmed up. In the long term, that doesn't really matter, because the main way that attackers clear out Catwalk, Ollie, is using their nades. Like, that's what it's at. Nobody's taking the gunfight challenge, because you're always going to be at disadvantage. It's all about the nades. Doesn't matter if you have the stims or not, you're still going to die to a nade.
FaZe can't put a foot wrong today. The C4 gets shot out mid-air, and the kill will be confirmed. It does go through as a trade. Bullet is finally shut down. He's had 9 kills so far this game before losing his first life. 9 kills in 3 rounds, that is, as well. Very impressive stuff. And still, FaZe aren't going to be sweating this one too much. Basetto, he's going to be holding onto the cache stairs, and Cameraman looks to try and make something happen with a bit of a swing, but the pressure is going to mount, and it will be too much. Cyber and Soul's going to be collecting those final couple of kills there. And again, FaZe just looking so unstoppable on this map. They've got an answer for everything that Black Dragons are throwing their way.
Yeah, and Black Dragons have almost tried to play 3 different playstyles, Ollie. Pretty much, if you think about it. You looked at their first round, whenever they were defending basement, it was very heavy roam orientated. The second round, it was still, you know, bit of roam game, but not as much. It was more kind of, oh, we'll play beside the bomb site, but not really in the bomb site. And then finally, they just tried to anchor in Catwalk, they tried to anchor in the site, and they still got obliterated. You know, I don't really know where Black Dragons go. They're going to go back downstairs. So the first time, Molly, they went for the roam game. They got exposed. Bullet hit them like a truck, and they could not stop him. I'm surprised that Black Dragons went for a roam game, considering that we're playing with a Habana ban and also a Thatcher. Because if Habana's gone, Ollie, impact tricking is your go-to strategy then.
The round 1 that we saw from Black Dragons, it kind of looked like they'd just come off the back of a really good scrim. And everyone's had a pop-off. They've just, you know, nothing's gone wrong, and they've come in with like, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go for a big roam game. We're going to win all our ones, and it just didn't happen. And the fact of the matter is, FaZe came off the back of an equally good scrim, and these guys are really, really fired up for the fixture. Because, as you say, that level of confidence to go for the roam inside of round number 1, where you don't really know what's going to be happening. You know, you've not got the rub of the green yet, and you don't know exactly how the game is going to progress. It shows a level of confidence which is then just dismantled with Bullet getting the ace. It wouldn't have been as bad if there'd have been a couple of kills either way and it had been a bit more competitive, but it just wasn't. And FaZe are really looking to bring the heat here to Black Dragons, and I guess as much as you can try and lean into the site and, you know, you can try to go for these impact tricks and you can try and just play a little bit safer, with the way that FaZe are moving and the speed that they're taking ground with, it's going to be fairly difficult to stop them. That's the best start that we could have hoped for, realistically. Patoxy, he's able to take down Astro. Astro, of course, playing on the ace. It's just going to diminish somewhat the hard breach potential here.
Dragons, they've flipped better that time to get the first pick, Ollie, as we know. That's kind of stopped FaZe just a tad, Ollie. You can see that their pace has slowed down quite a bit compared to how they were playing the other rounds. Information seems to be a bit of an issue from FaZe at the moment. They're not entirely sure where they want to approach. They know there's roamers, but they don't know exactly where they are. Bullet will fire a claymore down on that single window leading into CCTV room. That's going to assist him with his, I'm guessing, oil pit push. That's where I'm expecting to see the Sophia to move into. Cameraman, I like the fact that he's still trying to put pressure on the roamers, but he's by himself. All if he gets taken out, no one's there for a trade.
Where is the clinical roam game that we saw inside of round number 1? That's the big question, because so far we've watched half the round tick by. And Patoxy and Live are still at large here. Bullet, he's tried to sneak his way down blue, but this time he's been caught out by a Gumine. Now he's a little bit conscious that a flank may be on the cards, as Souls looks to progress on through as well. He's going to be coming in through Dirt Tunnel, gets himself into the engagement, wins his one as another 2 kills fly in here for FaZe. Patoxy has to try and retreat back onto site as Ion is left battling in the back of Bar. He now has the diffuser down. May not know that at this moment in time, though, as he does get swung by Cyber. Patoxy, he has to now try and move on through. Again, another 1vx situation. These 1vxs are getting better, though. This time, it's a 1 versus 3. The plant is confirmed. Patoxy is getting lit behind that generator. Souls eventually is going to put him out of his misery once again, taking him out and chalking another round up here for FaZe.
If we're starting to analyze that, oh, this time it's a 1v3 they have to clutch, oh, they're doing better, then it's not good from Black Dragons whatsoever, Ollie. It's really not. If that's what we're saying, oh, they've improved. They've got it down to one less man to deal with.
It's gone from a 1v5 to a 1v4 to a 1v3.
That's still not good.
It's terrible.
Oh. 4-0, FaZe Clan. Just on top of the world. I thought FaZe were looking a little bit sluggish, giving away the first pick. Didn't really know what they wanted to go for. They tried to then, you know, start to formulate a bit of a brute force push. And whenever a brute force pushes come in, especially kind of orientated from blue, you always think, oh, defenders can stop that because there's about 3 different crossfires you can establish into that blue tunnel. So, very surprising to see FaZe still win those rounds, even set in those circumstances.
Did FaZe even get a hatch open there?
Oh, they didn't touch anything. They just decided to go down blue.
They just crouch walked down Dirt Tunnel and blue. Like, this is what I mean. There's Black Dragons like, yeah, we'll play the site and we'll maybe, you know, go for a bit of an impact trick. They brought the Legion, which I thought was a great little change up. Obviously, Bullet making his way down Oil Pit. That was then known because the Gumine went off. Souls got slowed down just a little bit inside of the Dirt Tunnel as well, as he was having to take out the Legion mines as he went. So it did something to slow down the push from FaZe, but obviously, you have the impact tricks as well, impact grenades as well, that you can use to trick onto the hatches. But FaZe have just gone, no, we don't want the hatches. We're just going to win the round off the back of gunfighters, pushing into essentially single doorways.
Strange game. Strange. Not FaZe. I mean, they just look dominant. Only 5 kills is all Black Dragons have had in 4 rounds. That is it. All they've had, 5 kills. Need to see better from Black Dragons. Need to see better from them. If they want to try and catch up to that 6th position, qualify into the Cup Elite 6, they need to win their games. Right now, not working for them. So, FaZe 4-0 up. And also, Ollie, like 4-0 up, dealing with Thatcher and Habana ban. And usually whenever I see a Thatcher ban and a Habana ban, nobody ever wins the basement attack.
Yeah.
But they've done it twice.
Yeah, things are looking pretty bad at the moment, especially when you start looking toward the next half and you think Black Dragons are going to then have to move on to the attack and they're going to have to bring this same level of heat. Cyber's been so effective so far today with that Maverick, just getting rid of all the mute jammers. We do see an attempted impact trick there, and it will be successful partly. But another Selma can be deployed, and Astro will do just exactly that. Seto, he's going to be trying to hold on to the Logi hatch. FaZe in that dangerous portion of the round where they've already got a good couple of jobs done that need doing in terms of opening up lines of sight and giving themselves options. Now it's just about that execute.
So a minute to go. No kills for either side at the moment. Bullet creep up in towards Garage, and he will look to fish on to the off-site roamers. Located in security and located in towards Cash. Oh, Toxie just gives himself away so easily, Ollie. FaZe didn't even have to work for that kill. Oh, Live almost had timing on his side there. Will swing on the Cyber, eliminate him, and Perez also picks up another Solzo. Will eliminate Perez, and Bullet swings straight through the Renegade and eliminate Live. FaZe back in the driver's seat once again, only 30 seconds. Plenty of time for these guys to reevaluate where they're at and try and go in for this execute.
As you say, still plenty of time here available for FaZe, but it is dwindling. Ion, he's going to shut Bullet down. He does go for a little bit of a swing, but has to hit the reload. Souls now knows exactly where he is, but the onus is on FaZe. They have to try and push on through now. Souls finds one. Cameraman gets himself caught out in the Toxic Babe. Now there's only 6 seconds left, and Basetto, he needs to try and stop this plan from going down. He's got a live ping and some information, but he's holding the wrong angle. Cameraman from the doorway shuts him down. Closest round we've seen so far, but still, FaZe managed to clutch it up.
I don't know what happened there. Don't know what he's looking at. He knows one's in the door. He knows one's on the red ping planting the diffuser. Yeah, very, very strange. Don't know what's happened there, but 5-0 FaZe sit. And I don't think they're going to slow down anytime soon, Ollie. This is going to be a quick game. It looks as if that FaZe have looked at yesterday and thinking, guys, 7-3 is not good enough. We can do better.
I think they're still reading the script from yesterday. They need to turn the page over. We had a quick day yesterday. That means we have a longer day today.
Quick day was over. It was over yesterday, but clearly they haven't been sent the memo.
They must have liked the feeling. Maybe they got somewhere to be. I don't know. Like maybe they've got more practice to get in, but whatever it is that
the
these guys are
restaurant's
doing,
booked for dinner. They need to be there early.
I mean, who knows? A team dinner for some morale. I'm not sure. I don't think that they need it at the moment. I reckon these boys.
FaZe, they have an off day on Saturday. Surely an off day comes up for them soon. Is it not?
I'm unsure.
I'm gonna have a look. Let's see. Yeah, FaZe have an off day starting next week. So you get the Saturday off.
Maybe they got the flights booked.
Going on a last holiday.
Maybe they're going for a quick boot camp.
Maybe taken after MIBR, Serbia, perhaps. European teams, get them screaming.
I mean, whatever FaZe are doing at the moment, they just need to continue because everything is working for them. I love Cyber playing this Maverick. He is so dangerous on it. The way that he just systematically gets through all of his little jobs in terms of opening up the bottoms of the walls, shooting out the mute jammers. It's all working in perfect harmony. It's like a well-coordinated dance already in position. Souls placing the exothermic. That's going to be getting blown in, what, 15 seconds, 20 seconds at most. Cyber waiting for the call. Now can continue to start opening things up. It's a well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah, it's just a very, very impressive side. I mean, you look at some of the players that FaZe have in their side, Ollie, who do come from different walks of life. You think back to Bullet. People forget, he won the Pro League Championship with Team Liquid. He used to be on that side. You look at Cyber, was on MIBR, the previous, whenever they were Immortals, Ollie. Then they moved to MIBR. He was on that team again for the longest of time, being one of their top performers. I mean, FaZe Clan, they've kind of brought in all these different players, and it's really formulated into a great team so far. And I just love watching them play. And whenever they're on top of the game, Ollie, you wouldn't want anything else to watch.
Well, Bullet is looking menacingly through that breach. Live still trying to stick with this Thunderbird play on the garage catwalk. He's just getting juiced up periodically. But for the meantime, nobody is going to be directly challenging him. Toxic Babe Canister's trying to stop Bullet, at least restrict a little bit that visibility that he may have. Cyber, what a great nade thrown on through. It forces Basetto up. He still takes a little bit of damage, and the kills start to come through. It's shaping up to be a flawless round as FaZe have flipped the switch, decided that now is the time to execute. Astro maybe got down by a little bit of friendly fire there, but it will matter not. That's the second time in 2 days that cameraman's flicked onto Astro. At least there, it was still a flawless round. FaZe, what an attacking side you guys have just had. 6 rounds to 0. Match point.
6-0. Oh, dear. I mean, obviously it's great for FaZe. Disaster class 101 for Black Dragons right now. Well, it has to be said. This team has not shown up today. I think they've got their game plan wrong today. I think what they've tried to achieve, they've left holes massively in a lot of their defense. I think the refrag game has not been there either. I don't know. That just looks as if they're just playing for their ones and that's it. The refrag game just isn't there. And I think that's really what's doing them over right now.
I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if that Caveira pick had sticked. Cyber did 6 pick off and he's ended up on Jaeger, but I was seriously expecting a little bit of Caveira to come into this, as FaZe have got such an advantage here. You just can't see this going more than, I mean, you can't see it going more than 1 round at this point. You know, Black Dragons have not indicated anything to us that they've got what it takes to start chaining rounds together here, let alone 6 clean rounds in a row. They're attacking onto one of the most difficult sides. They haven't got the Hibana. They haven't got the Thatcher. Sure, those are things that FaZe didn't have, but still. Black Dragons, they need to show us something here.
You need to. And they need 6 rounds to show us that they can do it, Ollie. But it's a lot easier said than done, I suppose. If FaZe can finish things off with a clean 7-0, and they're on their way with another 3 points secured. Dragons just sad day at the office. So will be this basement time for FaZe. And like I mentioned earlier, Ollie, with a Havana and a Thatcher ban, this should be a guaranteed defender win. It just is. It's very, very difficult for attackers to really formulate any type of push. The go-to is obviously kitchen dirt. And if you don't have a banner to open up the kitchen hatch, you're going to be impact tricked all day of the week. You look at the FaZe lineup, they have 4 impacts for that very reason.
Black Dragon's taking the time with this approach. Cameraman just going to be playing on the half stairs. Great nade comes through, but the ADS saves him. The shotgun reigns supreme, and Live will be the first to fall. Bit of lack of information there on the side of Black Dragons. It would have been nice to know the ADS's location. The nade was brilliantly placed, but didn't come to anything, and you could see Cameraman barely even flinched there before picking that one up as a frag. That's Live gone, and with him the remaining grenade that Black Dragons have brought. Still opportunity to start getting these hatches open, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Taking their time with the Maverick. Once they get this moat open, that's all that matters for Black Dragons. Not a man disadvantage, of course, that Ayana gone. Bit of a hit with their actual fragging power as they head into the final minute now. Billy being spotted out, that Banshee. On the main stairs. Mute Jammers will snag a drone there. Unfortunate for Black Dragons. Looks as if they're just going to try and set up and just for a standard church push. But whenever the smoke's still on the board, Ollie, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually execute and see it being worked out.
The smoke was something that we saw Black Dragons consistently bring, but it wasn't something that really, you know, really benefited them in any way. FaZe's executes were just so quick that it didn't really come to all too much. Great nade there going through from Patoxy. That's going to force Astro out of position. Astro now desperately trying to impact trick, but instead spends both of his impacts at the same time. Now he's going to be getting caught in a bit of a tough situation, but notice the location of the diffuser. It's all the way upstairs. 2 kills do fly in here for Black Dragons, but Souls starts to fight back, finding one for himself. Cameraman moves on through. That's his second on the round. 8 seconds now do remain. Basetto, he's recovered the diffuser, but Souls is in a great location here to make a swing. He's going to miss his shots, though. Ion with the covering fire. That's going to be the plan being confirmed. Basetto, no, I think he must have came off it. Cameraman hits him where it hurts, picking up those final 2. FaZe, 7 clean rounds here on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, 7-0 for FaZe. No mucking about. Straight in. 3 points. Job done. Good day at the office for FaZe. Black Dragons. Boy, oh boy. Back to the drawing board, I suppose, Ollie.
Yeah, Black Dragons have got a little bit of soul searching to do after that one. I think it wasn't a great showing from those guys at all, and I think everybody expected a little bit more out of them in that one. I know certainly we did, looking onto this as you know, from the work that we've done on the pre-desk and stuff. We were expecting Black Dragons to come out here and to at least keep this one competitive, but you know, FaZe just following on from yesterday. If it rains, it pours, and the team that hit that advantage nice and early are the ones that are going to take home the win.
Yeah, just starting off already as a quick match, Ollie. Just seems to be repeating yesterday, it almost feels like. Chunks, what do you think? Is it going to be another quick day? Chunks, do you have anything planned? You might be able to get away early tonight.